right, hello everyone, and welcome to episode number
24. Yeah, maybe.
Of Music Rules. And I'm going to cut to the chase. This is a very special episode because we got a very special person here in the building with us. And his name is...
Declan.
This is Declan. So for those of you who are familiar with Thomas Covenant and Enter the Jaguar and many other things that are escaping me right now, Declan is the mastermind behind
That's not
it all.
me.
All right, it's not him.
Sorry, I think you got the wrong guy.
Oh no, this is really
Sorry,
awkward.
I think I'm in the wrong studio.
No, you're Declan O'D, right?
No, I'm Declan McKenna.
Oh, Declan McKenna. See, I'm looking for the guy who did the album House Chores.
Yeah, I just clean windows. I was about to talk about windows and
so
stuff.
that's the House Chores connection because I saw you out the front and I just said
that makes a lot of
House
sense.
Chores and you walked in, made yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
And
see, I
okay.
was a bit weird because I saw the music stuff and I was like, am I in the right? But anyway, I should.
But you do know the guy,
Well, I
like
think
the guy Declan.
I think.
I think since you're here, you could probably just
Do you want me to just fill in?
fill in.
Just
with us anyway.
Just let us know, like, just maybe just talk a little bit about what you know about him.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
start from.
Yeah.
With this.
No. I think it's good. I think you should be here, speak your truth, and just let us know what you know about the man himself. But hey, all of that funny business aside,
It's great to be here.
We're here and we're talking all things School Diary by Thomas Covenant. And I'm currently facing away from my two friends and looking at the screen for no reason. So I'm just going to shift over and look at them. And
we're making eye contact. We're all in the same room, which we don't normally do.
No,
when
we
we're
don't.
recording. We
don't.
split.
But we're also children. We're also millennials. And that means that any screen in the room, we're drawn to it like flies to honey.
Baby need iPad.
Yeah. Chuck on Cocoa Melon.
And speaking of children, this album is called School
Diary.
Diary. Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you guys, you made it when you were just little kids,
only
right?
only 26.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At the young age of 26. No, I think we wrote it way younger. Like some of those tracks are like we were like 22 when we wrote
Like 2014, 15. And even then, we wrote some of those songs even before that. Like recording it was like, I remember we were like, oh, wow, these are pretty old songs. Or at least year to 2 years, some of them anyway.
Yeah, some of them are like old. Like if I have a look at the Spotify page, which has, I think it was like 400 to 500 monthly listeners at the moment.
It's going hard. It's
4,000, 4 to 5,000. Some of them are like I think it was the song Nickelback. That's kind of older. I don't know.
It's a bit of like Fun But Not In Love is super
absolutely.
old.
Yeah.
Vocally was kind of, I think, made while doing the album, but the structure of that song and like those chords, we've been playing that since like early days.
How did you guys meet each other? Did you go to uni together? Is that?
We went to school.
Oh, you went to school together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very fitting.
Yes.
So, and this was very cute. I'd just changed schools and gone to Wollongong High School. And I was sort of floating around. I wanted to hang out with the cool people, but I didn't really know who they were yet. And then one day I was like walking around Soundwave. And then Declan was just like, hey, it's you from school. And then he'd seen me perform John Cage's 433 in music class.
Wow.
So I was like, this guy's cool. He's hanging with us today at Soundwave.
Yeah. So we
Trust me, guys, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
He did something totally transgressive and unexpected in music class. You should have seen the teacher's face. And then we started hanging out and made a band. Changed a few members in between because at this point it was us two, Thorn and Regan, but before that we had a bassist Zach. This is 13 years ago.
Wow, that
How
is
crazy is that?
It's a trip.
Yeah.
Damn. I think the big thing was like, I think we were just both on the same musical path. I think we were just like excited to just not only create, but just do really adventurous stuff. Yeah. And so we played together in like class and there were just small things. But once once we like formed the band for like a band comp.
That's right.
I think just like when we started playing live, it really just was. It just felt right and was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you remember who else was at that band comp all those years ago?
I remember a few like Kaleidoscope and Tommy M.
It's funny because
some other punk band. And,
that was Kaleidoscope's first gig, and they're still going.
Are they still going?
They're still going.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then another band that started around then was Tommy M and the Master Sounds. That was their first gig, and as we all know, as we all know, what's his face? Joe Mungavin from theirs. He's out there doing lots of stuff. Thing. And another band that started then was Killer Medic. Do you remember Killer Medic?
I do remember that.
And they're a Wollongong punk band. And now members from that have gone to do a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry, as we're talking, I'm just scrolling through
pictures. Oh my god, you guys are so young.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the image of us when we first started out. They won at the band competition.
Oh my god, we're in 2012 at this point.
Should probably get rid of that photo that was just up there. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this was early on. Where are we?
We're in 2011.
We're in 2010.
We're going back in time.
Oh my goodness. Man, there we go.
Oh my god.
That's the first incarnation, and it was our first gig on my 18th birthday.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So
holy
I had 3 drinks.
This is a picture from 2010 that we're looking at.
Yeah. I'm wearing my free bus shirt. Declan's wearing a Vietnam shirt, and we're rocking it. We look quite cool. I'll save it right now.
This is a great photo.
Attach it to the episode. But so it's been a long time. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Holy moly.
And it's been a lot. A lot of things happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this album was kind of our last it was kind of our last hurrah. It was kind of our last thing that we did, and I'm really proud of it. I think it probably hasn't quite got the attention it deserves, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because we kind of
we just stopped after it. We didn't really promo it. And
no, so it's funny when I feel like a lot of bands do that. It's like they get the album out, and then by that point, it's kind of like the thing is over. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I have listened to this album and really enjoyed it. So
thanks, Fenn.
It's worth it to have like the good piece of work, and you can look back on that at least. Definitely. So it's really cool. Yeah. What was the reason behind like making it a concept album? Because I don't know if we haven't really talked about or introduced the album much yet, but it's this kind of concept album, right? Detailing this teen guy's life at school.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I mean, like, do you remember? Like,
I think we. And I don't mean this disparagingly because I appreciate everything that we did and I think it was really nice and cool. But I think we just wrote about the same thing a lot. And I think that once we had that all together, that's when we had the idea of like, we'll make this little sort of...
like a story.
Yeah, like a story to it.
So it wasn't originally... like you were just writing songs and then you fit it into the narrative?
I think like we had the intention, we're like, okay, let's do an album. Like, let's put something together. And then as we were writing it, I think like, because we always were like creative with stuff, but I think like we could see like a lyrical pattern. We're like, oh, we're just like really sad and whatever. Yeah. And then it kind of made sense to turn it into that. But I don't really remember. That's
really funny.
Yeah, exactly where the idea School Diary or one of us said it, or I don't remember that, but I do remember it just kind of naturally turned into this theme, and then we just played around with that.
It's funny because it's funny to think of you guys writing the songs like sincerely at first, because then it's presented in this character who's like maybe not the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Which wasn't far from the truth.
Yeah. It's funny. It's almost
it's like this like layer of detachment almost.
Totally. Well, I think that was actually, that's a really good point. I think it was a really good way to kind of like exercise some of that stuff, like to put it into a theme, but like, deep down we're so hurt,
Yeah. In a way, you can be like more sincere when you're kind of like when you do have that one layer removed
to it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole thing of the band. Really, it was like it was so. Yeah, you remember one time we had that boss? Because Declan and I also used to work at a music school, much like me and Fenn.
Yeah.
We had a boss who was like, "Oh, love your band, like so funny, such a good joke." And I was just like, you know, he's not our target audience, but you know, we always kind of had that, like, we were straddling that line between it being a joke, but then also I think we felt so intensely about it all.
That's really the funny thing. Hey, I don't like. There was a weird thing about how, because you know, we're just like a trashy kind of punk band. But like it mattered a lot to us because I think it was very cathartic as well as like just this beautiful creative outlet. But a lot of the time, especially when we like ever got the opportunity to like play on radio or whatever, like they never liked it, or they were like, "Oh, so what do you actually do?" And you're like,
"Yeah, this is it."
Yeah. It is funny, like when people don't understand how to deal with stuff that contains an element of humor. Sometimes, they like want something to be really clear cut and like tonally unambiguous. So when they have something that is like a bit comedic or a bit tragic, at the same time they kind of like, oh, what is this?
Yeah,
they like it either needs to be like Weird Al or like Radiohead or whatever. Like people don't understand the in between.
I will say
especially with music.
Well, that was my favorite thing about this band, was that the starting point of it was always not comical, or just like it was fun and ridiculous. So there was always that element of like, however we performed, there was just this less seriousness vibe to it, which kind of not only opened it up creatively, but just kind of. It was just always going to be funny, and you knew you were going to get a laugh out of it, or just like it was ridiculous.
That was when we were at our best, was when we were,
and it kind of remained pretty much all the way through. I reckon there was always that feeling of like, we're stupid fun, like, you know, this is never going to be super serious because we're the silly stupid band. Like,
no matter how hard we try, our true colors will come out. Well, should we get started on listening to some tracks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's chuck on. We sort of had a bit of debate about this, but I reckon we should maybe, because it's really short, let's play the intro to Graduation into Mary. How do you guys feel about that?
Sure.
That first track is gorgeous, and I would be so upset if we didn't get to show our audience, so enjoy.
Felt so
Yeah, that was the first 2 tracks.
Sick.
Yeah. How long has it been since you listened to that, Declan?
It's actually not too far off. I think I gave this album a re-listen a couple months back, but before that, probably a while. Yeah.
So about when you moved in with me.
Yeah. It's like, shit, I better re-listen to stuff.
How do I know this guy? Yeah, so that first track, that was... When did we write that? Because that certainly wasn't something we performed live.
Mary?
The intro to Graduation.
The intro to Graduation.
Was that just something you had?
That's something I just had.
So you wrote the chords for that?
Yeah.
Chords are really, really nice in that song.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's funny, because I had this old piano at my mum's house, and it was a really old jangly piano. So all I was doing, I was trying to like just figuring out nice voicing, like on this old thing. And then I just kept those chords and I just had them. And then when we were writing this, because I think we were trying to think of an intro song, and I was like, well, I've got this nice progression I've just like worked on, and then I think the lyrics, because I don't know, I think it just needed vocals, so we just kind of came up with that, and yeah. Well, I guess that's kind of that's how it came about. Right?
Yeah. And the arrangements. Sorry,
this guy. No, sorry to interrupt. No, this guy, he's graduating high school. Is that the
title? Actually, kind of came out of nowhere.
Okay.
I think we were just like, I couldn't think of a title for it, and then I think we just like. So it was like we had a list, and then we just knocked it down.
For about
it's a good title.
For about 7 years. We would finish every show with a song called Graduation, which was the opening track of our first ever release that we did, which is at some recording studio in Kiama, and it was like a free program done for like kids at the youth center.
Yeah.
Sorry, the police are coming past.
Yeah, they're here to
sweet
arrest y'all.
Yeah, and then so I think Intro to Graduation, it's kind of like a nice little bow on the trajectory of the band to start with that as our first song, and then to kind of finish with.
You were talking about how like at the end of it there's 4-note motive, sort of this little
yeah.
Remember that, listener?
Very nice. Well, I noticed it. I even maybe came back in the next song in Mary. There was some little guitar parts in there.
Possibly.
I thought I could hear something similar, maybe, but maybe I'm just imagining things.
No, it could definitely be in there. Sure.
Yeah, the second track, Mary, that was always a massive favorite of mine. It was like it's very kind of metal through the lens of indie rock, or like I don't know what you'd call this. Indie rock feels meaningless, but like
a lot of like major 7 chords and stuff. Like really nice chords, but then it's got that kind of like punky attitude.
Abrasive.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the low high thing, which is classic in metal, like the but it's except it's not dissonant. It's got like a pretty.
I think my favorite thing about this song is like, well, I mean, I like the approach of it, and like lyrically it's like, that full reflection of like coming out of school and thinking you've got it all worked out, and you're like, no, I'm still absolutely lost as a human being. But also like I think there's that really nice blend of like those really scratchy guitar lines against me doing a melody on top. And I think when we wrote it, I was like, that's so cool that we've got something so jarring, almost like something out of Psycho, like dan 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 dan, with me doing almost trying to sing and fly on top of it.
Yeah.
It was just like really like, whoa, this is cool. Like it's very like lyrical, like all the melodies are really like like kind of soaring and nice, while the backing is kind of like what's the word, like I'm just thinking of the word angles, but that's not like the right word. Angular, that's the word. Yeah. It's like all the syncopated like little hits and stuff, like it's super percussive and like and then the melody is kind of like really like lyrically sitting on top, and it's a little more free. It's a nice combo.
Yeah,
very nice.
And then the bridge, that's the bit where it cuts out to it's like everything drops out, and we didn't plan to have that happen, to have everything drop out, but then I think I was away working or doing something while you guys were in the studio, and I came back and you guys were like, what do you think of this? We just cut everything out except for the guitar. And then Jono as well, back when he had more patience for me being like naughty in the studio, he like one time we were doing a take and I like messed up the guitar tracking, and then I just started doing like random really weird soloing, like and while Jono just patiently sat there recording me. And it was just like he just let it run through, and then they took out everything except for the guitar and vocals.
That is so funny.
And then they were like, oh, well, we got this track left over of
the solo
of Jack
is
being
so
a
crazy.
dickhead. Yeah.
But it works somehow.
Yeah. No, I think it's probably what the track needs is just something that isn't thought out and just kind of that.
Yeah. There's happy accidents.
Yeah.
It's like satisfying.
Yeah.
When it works.
But yeah, I guess like maybe we should move on to Jerome V.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, who is right below us as we record this podcast. This song goes a little something like this.
Hello, hangover. How are you? How am I? I'm not so good. Some things didn't go to plan. In fact, I'm not sure that I had a plan. Might have just been a thought. I'm just a loser, that's okay. Didn't think I was a winner that much anyway. Could be the same as me, I don't know. Oh well, who cares? Still got your own beat. Lost my shoes, typical. My drawn act unspeakable. Seems I keep making the same mistakes, not letting go. I just fuck up over and over and over again. I'm just a loser, that's okay. Didn't think I was a winner that much anyway. Could be the same as me, I don't know. Oh well, who cares? Still got. I'm just a loser, that's okay. Didn't think I was a winner that much anyway. Could be the same as me, I don't know. Oh well, who cares? Jerome V. Hey ladies, how you doing? This one's for you. Nah, don't be shy, get on the dance floor. It's time for you. You've been waiting for the prom all your life, and I'm your man to take you away here. I had a chance, and then I blew it. Came on too strong, but I'm alone. I had a chance, I never used it. I looked away, I'm all alone. I had a chance, and then I
What a trip down memory freaking lane. Hey, guys.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah. So that song is written about, a friend of ours called Jerome V. And when I said he's underneath us, I didn't mean that he's dead. He is alive. We're just in a unit complex and he is in the unit below. This one is another one that Heather's on, and they shine. It's we were very lucky to be able to work with Heather pre-Cry Club.
Yeah. Before they were famous.
Yeah. But this, I don't know what else is that there's heaps to say.
There's a lot to say. Yeah.
This, we just watched the music video, and I'd recommend it to anyone who's interested in the band or who is close to our friend circle, because there are so many people in it like that we hung out with. It's a really cute throwback.
Yeah.
It's kind of got almost like it's archiving a moment.
Yeah.
And I think maybe to some people who weren't there, it might seem... Does it seem very staged, Fenn?
I mean, a little bit, but also like it does seem like that was like the house where lots of stuff happened.
Yeah.
Like the kind of party house or whatever.
Yeah, and you're right. It definitely was a bit staged. But have you ever been in a situation where there's like a film crew and they're just like, party, have a party, and they're filming you party? Because it was like, I remember that. It was fun because we bought like heaps of drinks, and then everyone came over and like we had our friends DJ.
Yeah. So the DJing was real.
The DJing was real.
Because that was the bit that I thought was like definitely not real. I was like, there's no way that's a real DJ.
No.
I really like the kind of one take-ness of it all. It like worked out really nicely with the song, and then you timed it really well. And
I think we were just like going for the hangover effect, and it's like I think the only effective way to do it was to do it in one shot, because like you're waking up into that, and it's just like that slow progression of like waking up to the day and just feeling like trash. It
was really it's a really fun video. This song is really fun too. I like there's that opening riff, the ding 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 ding, and it kind of like keeps getting developed in lots of different ways through the song. There's almost like 3 different sections where like it just keeps coming back. But
that main kind of chorusy thing is really simple. Just like I think it's 1 to 2. But the inversions are pretty interesting. Like it's like
it's kind of like going 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bass, right?
Yeah,
it's like one of my favorite progressions. It's so like uplifting that. There's a lot of good songs use that progression.
I had a guitar teacher at the time who was just like, no more root position all the time, Jack. And I was like, all right. And I took it really to heart. And this album in general has a lot of like
inversions and stuff.
Everything's inverted, trying to be a bit more like a piano player or just more exciting. But I love this lyrically, Declan, because it's so like, it's so almost cheesy, but in like a really beautiful way. And I feel like maybe it's because I know you pretty well also. Like it's so real. Yeah. Like it's like...
It's definitely kind of like, it's the same thing. You're going about it in a kind of slightly theatrical way. You're going about it in a like, oh, what if we've got this theme? Like, I think that's when we were writing it. I was like, let's sing about a hangover. Like, let's sing it. And then, but like, yeah, totally. It's just like, you know, and I think that's it. Sometimes when you do have that hangover and you're like, oh, I just hate myself and I hate my life.
Yeah.
And then
there's so many like really quotable lines, like, I'm just a loser, that's okay. Never thought I was a winner that much anyway. Really, really good line.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of these things where it, like, it's saying something in like a really like, it's saying something in like a plain way, but but the feeling it's expressing is complicated. Like it's just really satisfying. And then the other one, I love the ending as well.
The lost my shoes typical thing. Like I've seen you lose your shoes at parties.
Yeah, it's a real
8 years
line.
ago. I don't know if you still do it anymore, but
yeah,
it's a classic thing.
And if you watch the music video, Jack reveals a certain side of him that you may not have seen before. So It's worth watching for that.
It is. You get to see my butt. Not to be crass.
I was trying to be subtle.
Yeah. The reason we got that video done was because we won a band competition. And, and we got a free music video from Rory from Law Media. And he's really good. And we sort of had no idea. We were like, yeah, we'll do like a hangover, and then it'll be like a party. And then he was like, okay, and then he sort of made a bit more of a narrative around it. And
it works really well. It's really good video. And I like the kind of split screen at the end. It's fun.
It's cute. It's got my my poor old cat Murphy, who sadly was hit by a car, and that's why you keep your cats indoors. Everyone.
And for the local wildlife, it's
especially better. For that too. Probably more so. So let's listen to the next track. This is actually the last track. We're doing things a little bit upsy, downsy, differenty kind of thing today, but there's a reason we're leaving one more track at the very end, and you'll find out why later on. But this is our third track, Spitting Apples.
Greed for money, extreme power and wealth, poverty, fascism, racism, discrimination, hatred of Pokemon. Fuck! Everybody sucks! Everybody sucks! Oh my god, I suck! So bad! Everybody sucks! Doesn't know how I feel about it. I wanna say what I want, but I don't know how to break through. Genocide, corruption, politicians, global warming, EA games, Jack from math class, fuck! Everybody sucks! Everybody sucks! Oh my god, I suck so bad! Everybody sucks!
recognize that theme, Fenn?
That's it.
Yes, Jurassic Park. Yeah, of course, it's the motive from Intro to Graduation.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That would have been cooler. We should have just thrown in Jurassic Park motives all the way.
It's literally one note away. That's so funny.
So amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's good as is.
Yeah. So this track was stitched together because this was the last thing we recorded. We recorded the drums in a warehouse down in Warilla, and it was very sus warehouse. There was like a hole in the wall, and we were a bit worried it was asbestos. And yeah, weird times, but we got these tracks and they were recorded by Adam from Beast and Flood.
Sick. I love Adam. Yeah.
And
he has made a very good contribution to this very podcast.
Yes, he has.
The microphone that Jack is using.
Adam, if by any chance you're listening, I will pay you back. I swear to God. You just lent it to me a long time ago, and I've been using it for like 6 years now. But I swear, I can give it back. I can pay you. I'll pay interest. I don't care. I'm so sorry.
He like charges car park rates for the microphone.
No, I'd be so upset.
That's a real inside joke.
That is a real inside joke. But yeah, he recorded all the drums for this album.
Wow.
And Jono and we produced it. I got a production credit for this one. And you can tell because there's no spare space on this record whatsoever.
No room to breathe.
Everything, there's just so many.
Yeah,
there's so many additions and little things. But yeah, this was like, we just had a random idea. And it might have even been in the studio. We were playing around with a riff.
Wow.
We did this actually at, I think, Jono's old house. Jono and Hodges, we were in their garage.
Yeah.
And we were just jamming and we had that riff. And
boom,
then, and then also the bridge, we were jamming on that. All that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think we always wanted the same thing. We were trying to turn it into a song and then we had it in the chest. And
and this was like Regan's like one take at it, and then we just stitched it together and made something of it, even though we didn't really have any form, any words, we just had like a couple of riffs. But
I like the kind of lyrical theme. It feels very like high school, early uni.
Definitely. Definitely.
Like really like on the nose. Like,
It was like, what is it, like
politicians of the world?
Totally. Yeah.
It was like genocide, corruption, racism, discrimination, hatred of Pokemon.
That's great. That's good.
Oh, like, what's the other one? It's just like politicians, global warming, EA games. But yeah, I think in this song, Declan's playing like the protagonist, who's like sad, and I'm stupid Chad from math class, and I asked out his prom date.
Oh no!
And he's just like
destroyed.
So mad. Yeah, and thus the very like kind of depressing but also kind of nice mantra of like everyone sucks.
Like the last, it's the same sort of like nice wrap up of like, you know, look inside your heart, and I think it's just like that, I don't know, just that feeling of like, oh, just like everyone sucks, it's all shit, you know, whatever, so let's just get on with it. I don't know, like, or just something about that. Yeah, just a humbling feeling, I guess.
It's kind of like a low expectations is the key to happiness kind of feeling. I don't know.
It's such a nihilistic thing that I feel like
it's super nihilistic.
It is nihilistic, but like it's like it improves your life in a positive way. Like sometimes it can be it can be positive to feel really hopeless. I don't know.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Weirdly positive.
Yeah. No.
It's like, oh well, nothing really matters, so just like do this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's low stakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is probably my favorite track. It's just really like chunky. It's probably the heaviest song on the record, I'd say. I always really liked how that intro came in with just chunk. Yeah. Just like, I think me and Jono, we recorded so many guitars for this album. Like we did the double tracking thing with 2 electrics on either side, and then 2 electrics with a different pickup, and then the same guitars but with different amps, and then 2 acoustic guitars as well.
Oh my god!
So when you're hearing it, you're hearing
it's
like
full chunk.
this huge.
It's dense. Like,
it's super dense.
The sound is really dense.
Yeah,
which is actually I kind of feel like that's Jono's production style is kind of like, in terms of like the frequency range, it's like really filled.
Yeah,
in a really nice way.
Yeah, we chatted about that on the Pickle Darling app. But like that approach of like, even just using things with different timbre to kind of fill out that frequency. It's
and again, it's like it's an interesting song. Like it's like harmonically, but also like it's got that positive uplifting thing, but it's still got this hammer dun dun all the way through, and it's and also that as well is like a really interesting.
You wrote that riff, didn't you?
I think so. Yeah, and I think it's just an interesting. Now this sounds wanky. It's like, yes, I wrote that one. Did I though? I thought you wrote that one.
If you've forgotten if you wrote it or not, I think it's okay to like compliment.
Now I can continue.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess I don't know. It's just an interesting like a groove that.
I saw Fenn counting.
I don't even know, but like
I counted again too because I forgot it. I think it's like that main riff is like 3 bars of 3 and then 1 bar of 4.
Right.
Like 1 dum dum bum dum bum dum 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 bum dum.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
So 13 technically, but it's not felt in the 13 kind of way. It's just,
And same thing as well was that same. We had the song, and then we were trying to think of lyrics and themes, and I think we were just like freeballing ideas, and then I must have just screamed like "Everybody sucks," and just kind of went with that.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment of this song is singing their last bit with Heather.
The tail end of it. Yeah,
it's just cool. I'm just glad that they
super
were part
nihilistic anthem.
For something that is like about this person who kind of like hates the world a bit. It's like it feels like a really super collaborative record, and like the music video for Jerome V, there's so many different friends and stuff in it, and then like you're talking about like Adam from Beast and Flood, and like Heather and Jono, and like all these different people like kind of working together. It's really like nice.
It's
like,
actually really funny in retrospect because like I think I feel way more alienated now, but like back then I was just like, oh man, and like life is so hard.
Look at all these friends around me. Life is pain.
better roll out of bed in my $120 a week share house with all of my bestest friends and my like music room where I can create whenever I want and I have all the time in the world.
Put real milk in my oat milk latte.
Life sucks.
Life is pain.
Meanwhile, life now be like anyway.
Real pain.
But now the music ain't this sad anymore. I don't know.
And it's so weird.
Yeah. Shall we move on to the final track?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. So this is Fenn's choice.
Yes.
And this track, and this is important context before we listen. This track actually was on Triple J Unearthed Radio for 2 months.
Really?
Yeah, and then it was suddenly pulled one day, and I wonder if we can tell why. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Nickelback.
Girl who wants a boy to rock my world.
Well, hey, girl,
nothing to me. Chad Kroger's all I need. Did you read the Daily Telegraph? Did you see that funny photograph? Every time I look it makes me laugh. Whoa, I love Nickelback. Did you read the Daily Telegraph? Did you see that funny photograph? Every time I look it makes me laugh. Whoa, I love Nickelback. Ooh, Nickelback. Yeah, I love my Nickelback. What my Nickelback? Whoa, wait, who is that? Is that you, Chad Kroger? Yes, I appear when anybody mentions my name's Chad Kroger, master of dimensions. You are the greatest man that I've ever known. Oh, you're not alone. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, come in my mouth. You know how I like it. Chad Kroger, please come in my mouth. Chad
Chad Kroger calming my mouse. I forget why we decided on that line. I don't know. Maybe it was someone had a pet mouse or something.
Yeah, and Chad Kroger was calming them.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
do you remember where you were when first time you heard that song? Fenn?
Yes, I was at the Petersham Bowling Club downstairs, and Jack was playing like a solo set, just acoustic guitar. And yeah, I was so blown away by that song. It's so effing funny.
Yeah.
It's good that we're not using any of that foul language.
Yeah. I wouldn't dare. I feel like I remember you talking about how like it almost didn't make it onto the album or something, or did you have to like no?
I think I had to fight for a line in it. I'm pretty sure. I think was the outro. I was like
the calming
really
my mouse.
The calming my mouse
line. Yeah.
I don't know why people didn't want that. Maybe they thought it sounded like something gross. I don't know, but but yeah, I remember where we were when we sat down and wrote this together, Declan.
In the park?
We were in the park.
Yes.
Yeah. We sat down and I was like, "Oh, I got this idea."
Well, I think we were like trying to. We're like, we gotta write some more music, and we're like, let's get in the park. We'll get in the zone. And we could somehow wrote this like cheesy thing, and I don't know how it happened, but
and it only got cheesier when we brought it to Jono because Jono was just like, he had instantly had all these ideas for like selling the narrative and stuff like
right,
like Heather appears and they're like being the love interest, just like
it's really funny.
I'm just a girl who's not into Nickelback. It's really it's so good.
I love the way they sing like "Once Upon a Rock My World."
Oh,
like really, really good.
Oh, it's got this particular kind of energy to it. What's the like? My boot scooting baby is driving me crazy.
That's what I was thinking. Very 90s kind of.
Yeah.
I'm a Barbie girl kind of thing.
It's, I think getting someone with a background in music theater like Heather for this project was such a good move.
It really helps. Does really help sell the song.
Yeah.
The theater.
So, listener, do you want to hear the email that we received from Unearthed about? I'm just going to read out a small bit. So, hey Thomas Covenant, person from Unearthed here, blurred for anonymity. Just needed to email about your recent upload to the system. Unfortunately, I've had to put Nickelback on hold and will delete it from the system as it contravenes ABC's editorial policies. So that's what we received. And
these are the policies. Defamatory or otherwise unlawful, or that it violates laws regarding harassment, discrimination, Privacy or contempt. Abusive or offensive material, including obscenity, blasphemy, and racial vilification.
Of which there was none.
There is no racial.
There is
unless you count people who like Nickelback as a separate race,
which you probably should.
Which you could,
but probably should.
This is my favorite one of material of nuisance value, which it definitely is of nuisance value. Inappropriate, off-topic, or vexatious.
Well, I'm not submitting my Eric Satie covers to the Unearthed. Little joke for all the Eric Satie fans in the audience.
That's so funny.
And that was how we found out that it was getting played on the radio.
Yeah.
Pretty. Yeah, I think that was like.
Well, it's nice,
Yeah, maybe the only press we got around this album. We just kind of farted it out, but what else to say about this? It has Jariss on here, Jariss Shead, the singer from Troldhaugen, which if you don't know them, they're a really wild band that moves between a lot of different genres, but they started out kind of doing folk metal, and now they do something closer to techno metal.
Yeah,
I would say.
Circusy metal.
Yeah, it's one of the best live bands I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so
very good. Very good
check him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he played the role of Chad Kroger.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Master of Dimensions.
Yes. Yeah. I think.
How did you guys come up with the chorus? Because I think it's so funny. Like the idea that a Nickelback listener also reads the Daily Telegraph is just really. It's a good cocktail of personality traits.
I don't know. It kind of just, I think with a lot of our songs, they just kind of were spur of the moment kind of thing. So when we were writing it, it was probably just what we jammed on at the time, and then just turned into that.
Did you see that funny photograph?
I feel like I can almost go back in time and imagine myself just being like, Nickelback. What rhymes? Daily Telegraph. And then what's in the Daily Telegraph? Pictures. Funny photograph. Oh my God, now it's a reference to Photograph by Nickelback.
Look at this.
This is the peak of my life. I'm so happy.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's an interesting song, and I think that hopefully it'll get more airtime at some point. I hope this entire album gets discovered by someone eventually when they go, oh my God, what is this?
Oh my God.
How does this only have 5,000 listeners on
cover,
Spotify?
Very well drawn album cover.
Yeah. This was done because right before we broke up, we did a tour in Indonesia, and we stayed at the house of a guy who does really cool art.
Yeah, he smashed that out really quick, hey? Yeah. Like, we were like, oh, can you do it? And then, basically, when we got back to Australia, it was done. And we were like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Fits the theme.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, thanks for listening to Season 1 of Music Rules.
Yes.
Yeah, we are going to go to Melbourne and perform our musical.
Yes, October 13, 14.
Declan, what's your reviews of the musical?
Of what I've heard so far?
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm really into it. It's really, really good.
There you go.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song, you think?
I don't know the song titles yet, but I will be a fan soon. And I am can't wait to buy the merch.
There's going to be lots of merch. Yeah. More merch than songs.
Yeah.
And more press shots than merch. That's the goal.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the end of Season 1.
Yeah.
We made it half a year of weekly episodes.
Yep.
Pretty sick.
Pretty sweet.
Not bad for two fellas who are doing a million other things. Mm-hmm. But it's been the highlight of my life, and I feel like I'm probably talking too much about it. But hey, we'll be back.
We'll do a wrap up next week and yeah. And then we'll take a bit of a break.
Yeah, just a little break.
All right. Thanks for coming, Declan.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye. If you liked this episode, please check out some of Declan's other excellent projects. As well as Thomas Covenant, Declan played in a great funk band called Enter the Jaguar. He has made dystopian futuristic electro-punk under the name Zelch, and he has created a fantastic album of house music called House Chores under the name Declan OD. As well as this, he also DJs under the name Decopre. Check it out. See ya!